Hello, we have just completed a three-part series on DeviNet for class 10 in preparation for your board exams. Today, we are moving on to the next question from the Prose section of your board exam question paper, which is the reference to context. Again, this has been divided into three parts. In the first part, we are looking at the first two lessons today. In the second part, the third and the fourth, and in the third part, the sixth and the seventh. These are just sample questions which will give you an idea of how the questions appear for your board exam. Let's begin with the first lesson. So for every lesson, I'm showing you two questions, solved questions, and there are two questions for you to practice by yourself, okay, for every lesson. So this is from the first lesson. Et cette statue à droite du palais, c'est quoi? As you know, for reference to context, you are given one sentence, one extract is picked up from the lesson and dropped into your question paper. And following that, you have three questions that you need to answer based on the extract. Now, for this, it is important that you read your lesson minutely, okay, because these may not be directly related to the question answer at the end of the lesson. These may be related to minute fine details that are found within the lesson. So it's best that you read the lesson well. So this, your first trick is the first thing that you need to do is identify from which lesson the line has been picked up. Okay, now I'm doing it lesson by, so it's easy. But for your board exam, you are not going to be told which lesson the line has been picked up from. Okay, so that's the first step. Identify the lesson from which the line has been picked up. Make sure you're framing your answers correctly. Okay, there needs to be grammatical consistency when you're framing your answers, even if it's just one sentence. Please make sure you're writing a full sentence for each answer. So here, the quel palais part-on? Of which palace are we talking about? We're talking about the Adil Shah Palace. So, on parle du palais d'Adil Shah. De quelle statue parle-t-on? So, see, we're talking about a statue here as well. We're talking about a palace as well. In this lesson, you have two statues. Be sure which has been spoken about when. So, here they're talking about the Abbé Faria statue to the right of the palace. On parle de la statue de l'Abbé Faria. Qui pose cette question à qui? Now this is talking about the line. Who is asking this question to whom? Now for this you need to know the names of the characters in each lesson. It's kind of confusing, so I suggest you make a list as to which characters, the names of the characters in each lesson. So in this lesson you had Léonard et Navin. So Léonard pose cette question à Navin. Then the next extract is Tu vois sa statue là-bas. Do you see his statue over there? So the quelle statue parle-t-on? Now here we're not talking about the Abbé Faria, here we're talking about the other one, the Bandodkar statue. So on parle de la statue de Dayanand Bandodkar. Où se trouve cette statue? Where is the statue located? It's located in Panjab. The statue or cette statue se trouve à Panjab. Comment s'appelle l'édifice à côté de cette statue? Make sure you're understanding the question. Comment s'appelle meaning what is the name of? So what's the name of the building which is to the side of the statue? It is the Adil Shah Palace. So you can say c'est le palais d'Adil Shah. If you want, you can say c'est le palais d'été d'Adil Shah. It was the summer palace of Adil Shah. So here these are two questions which you can try by yourself. Okay, from the first lesson only. D'ici tu peux voir une belle église blanche sur une petite colline. The questions are comment s'appelle l'église? What's the name of the church? D'où peut-on voir l'église? From where can you see the church? Où se trouve cette église? Where is this church located? And the next question, cette ville est belle. Comment s'appelle la rivière? The questions are qui dit c'est moi qui? Who said this to whom? Comment s'appelle la ville dont on parle? What's the name of the city which we are talking about? Et comment s'appelle la rivière? What's the name of the river? See if you can solve these by yourself. Now let's go to the second lesson. Let's look at two questions, two sample questions which have been solved from the second lesson, la cigale, la fourmi. The first extract is Elle va donc chez la fourmi sa voisine. She goes therefore to her neighbor, the ant. So, qui va chez la fourmi? This is an easy question. Obviously, if the ant is being visited, who is visiting? The cricket, right? La cigale va chez la fourmi. Then, pourquoi va-t-elle chez la fourmi? Why does she go to visit the ant? Why does she go? This is not given directly in your text. You'll have to frame it. Okay, because she has to borrow provisions. Elle va chez la fourmi pour emprunter des provisions. In order to borrow some provisions. You can say pour l'hiver if you want. Okay. Parce qu'elle n'a rien, because she has nothing. You can add on, but the basic idea is that she wants to borrow provisions. Then, qui est l'écrivain de ce conte? Who is an écrivain? An écrivain is the writer, the author. Okay, so who has written this? Conte is a fable. So who has written this fable? It was Jean de La Fontaine et l'écrivain de ce conte. This can also be asked as qui a écrit ce conte. Okay, qui est l'auteur de ce conte? Qui est l'auteur de cette histoire? This can be asked in many ways. So make sure you're prepared with the name of the author, especially of this lesson. Okay, about the ant and the cricket. Next, à vous chantiez. Eh bien, dansez maintenant. Oh, you were singing. Okay, now time to dance. So, qui est vous dans cette phrase? Where is the vous? Vous is here. So, who is the vous in the sentence? The vous is the cigale. Vous dans cette phrase est la cigale. Please excuse me, there's a spelling mistake here. It is est. Vous dans cette phrase est est la cigale. Then, qui dit ces mots? Who says these words? Okay. It is the ant who says this. La fourmi dit ces mots. Then, quand chantait-elle? When was she singing? So here it said, à vous chanter, or you were singing. So when was she singing? Elle chantait pendant l'été. She was singing in the summer. Okay, so these are two sample questions from the second lesson. Now let's look at two which you have to try by yourself. Il était incapable de gagner sa vie. He was unable to earn his living. Qui était incapable de gagner sa vie? Whom are we talking about? Who was unable to earn his living? Pourquoi était-il incapable de gagner sa vie? Why was he unable to earn his living? Nommez une fable écrite par cette personne. Name one fable or one story written by this person. Obviously, you'll have to write the name of the lesson. Then, the next one, elle promet de lui rendre ses provisions. She promises to return to her provisions. So, qui promet de rendre les provisions? Who promises to return the provisions? À qui appartiennent les provisions? Appartenir is to belong. So, to whom do the provisions belong? Okay, so who is the lui basically here? Et quand est-ce qu'elle lui rendra les provisions? When will she return the provisions? Okay, so all these answers are there. It's only a matter of reading the text minutely, carefully. You will find the answers, and then it's up to you how you frame them correctly. Thank you very much, and see you in the second part. We'll be discussing the next two chapters.